Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by the Guild. I'm Tom Downey. Let's get to our first news and rumor today. Is Matt Eberflus, the former Cowboys linebackers coach, going to stay in Indianapolis? Well, folks, yes, he will be. We're giving this one 4 stars because Eberflus will not be leaving Indianapolis. There had been some immediate buzz right after Josh McDaniels revealed that he was not going to go be the Colts head coach. He was going to stay in Indianapolis, or in New England, that maybe Eberflus would come back to the Cowboys. That seemed unlikely at the time because the Cowboys had already hired a linebackers coach and replaced Eberflus at all levels of the defense. And now it's confirmed the Colts have said he'll stay as the DC in Indy regardless of who the Colts hire as their next head coach. So for those of you hoping that Eberflus would return to Dallas, that's not going to happen. Hello, friends. Once again, I'm Tom Downey. Follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney for more Cowboys news and rumors and all kinds of stuff. We're going to take you through the latest rumors, plus look at some free agents the Cowboys could sign this offseason. But first, let's get to what our rumor meter means. For if this is your first time watching the show, you'll see stars. Here's what they mean. 4 stars means Dez caught it. It is a fact. 3 stars means it is pretty likely. 2 stars means that people are talking. It's firmly in that rumor category. And 1 star means there is a small shred of truth to this. And then, of course, we're at the 0 stars. And once again, folks, this has to change. Now, last week on the Cowboys Report, you guys came through with some great ideas, some great comments on YouTube, some great votes in the Facebook Live comment section here. So we didn't quite narrow it down the way that we wanted to. So we have 4 options here for you guys, and we'll let the reactions and the emojis dictate what we make as 0 stars the next time we're on air. We've got 4 options, all of which end up focusing on potential Cowboys rivals. There were a lot more than just these 4 options. There was stuff like around Jason Garrett, around Jerry Jones, around Dez Bryant, around Tony Romo, and so on and so forth, some of which we definitely can't actually put on air. But here's where we're at, and these are the 4 options. Get your votes going. For those of you watching on YouTube, use the emoji in the comment section, and we'll calculate it that way, and then we'll add these all up, and the winner is our new 0 stars. So, heart means class the Eagles fans have. Again, that's 0. That's the point there. Texans Super Bowl rings. Also 0, so sticking with the old one of the Eagles Super Bowl rings, just changing the team. A laughing face for fights Odell Beckham won against the net, or a wow face for fights Odell Beckham won against the net, and a laughy face for good Dan Snyder decision. So keep those votes flowing. The winner at the end of this will be the new 0 stars. We'll have that for you on next week's Cowboys Report. We'll keep it rolling with some more news and rumors. Next up, did Dallas miss out on a tight ends coach? Well, folks, yes, they did. We're giving this one 4 stars as well. The Dallas Cowboys tried to go get Jason Michael, who was the Titans quarterbacks coach, to come be the new tight ends coach in Dallas, which is where Michael has a lot of background. Michael said no. He was offered the position and he turned it down. Instead, Michael took the Cardinals tight ends job. Maybe you're wondering why that was the case. Big reason from my perspective is, if you're Michael, you can go join the Cowboys staff, which may or may not be the same one next year. If the Cowboys miss the playoffs, Garrett's gone. Or you can go join Arizona and have more long-term job security with a coach who just started his first year in Arizona. We'll stick with the tight ends coach for number 3 here, and is namely is a former Raiders tight ends coach, the front runner. Remember, Michael interviewed, Mark Colombo interviewed, but so too did our next man. We're giving this one 3 stars as well, because it does seem pretty likely that former Raiders tight ends coach Bobby Johnson is the frontrunner to land the Cowboys job. Now, Johnson was a bit of a surprise firing by the Oakland Raiders because he interviewed, in air quotes, for the Raiders head coaching position, which of course went to John Gruden, because of course it did. And Johnson was a little close to just being a simple fulfillment / checkmark of the Rooney Rule. Now, Johnson's been the Raiders tight ends coach since 2015. If the Cowboys do end up hiring him, this would be, I think, a relatively solid hire. He was also, by the way, the head coach for the East-West Shrine game, which often goes to younger assistants who could eventually become head coaches. So I would like the hiring of Johnson if that's what ends up happening. Cowboys, in terms of their main positional coaches, are only waiting on the tight end position. We'll keep it rolling, and we'll stick with some more coaching stuff here. How about DeMarcus Ware? Is he going to help coach the Cowboys? Where, well, this is kind of sort of true, kind of sort of not true. So we're giving it 2 stars on this one, with DeMarcus Ware coming to help coach the Cowboys. Now, he did this last year as well, and he said that he wants to coach the Cowboys, or help coach the Cowboys. But it's not really coaching. It's kind of more mentoring a little bit. He spent one day with the defensive line last year. He could do something very similar again this year. He also has some media obligations with the NFL because he works for the NFL Network as well. So we're just giving it 2 stars because, yeah, there's a good chance Ware ends up being a coach, but it's coach in quotation marks because it'd kind of be like a one-day stop by, see how everyone's doing, and offer some advice, not really a full-on assistant coach. So not assistant coach, but he could help out the Cowboys on the defensive line. Next up, we'll go to the draft. Is a notable draft prospect hanging out with some Cowboys offensive linemen? Well, this one's true, folks. Will Hernandez tweeted this out a couple days ago. Hernandez is a top guard prospect from UTEP. He tweeted out a photo of himself at a movie premiere, The Death Wish, which is going to star Bruce Willis, comes out next month. He saw it with Tyron Smith and Lael Collins. I don't know if that was planned on Hernandez's part or kind of more of an accident. No, they both happened to be at the premiere of the movie. But the Cowboys do have interest in Hernandez. Him getting to know those Cowboys offensive linemen could benefit him long term if he does end up on the Cowboys roster. Speaking of the roster, have the Cowboys added another safety? Well, folks, once again here, 4 stars on this one. The Cowboys have added a safety to a futures deal, just like Marquise Hufton, which we mentioned earlier on a Dallas Cowboys report. They have signed safety Jason Thompson. He was an undrafted free agent last year, joined the Patriots, ended up bouncing around on the practice squads with the Bears and the Seattle Seahawks. This strikes me as a Chris Richard request. This is what he wanted. He can get a guy that he clearly saw something he liked in Seattle and now can continue to groom him and coach him in Dallas. And knowing what Richard likes often should help Thompson help teach other guys potentially as well. He is a great athlete. Didn't play a lot in college. He was at Wyoming, started as a quarterback, eventually transferred, went to Utah, and was a safety when he changed positions, but was limited to mostly special teams. So think kind of in that same mode as Showers, another former quarterback turned safety who probably won't make a major impact for the Cowboys, but he is the guy to monitor when it comes to practice squads next year. All right, let's get to number 7 then. Is Dak Prescott the best at tight throws in the NFL? Now, if you had asked me this a week ago, I would have said, I don't think so. It would have been someone like Aaron Rodgers. Well, turns out that's not the case, and it is indeed 4 stars because Dez caught it, and Dak is the NFL's best at tight throws. NFL.com uses their next-gen stats, and the next-gen stats are that, yes, Prescott is the best at tight throws, meaning that there's limited separation and it's a tight window throw. Dak had the best completion percentage and the best pass rating. Now, the completion percentage was not very high, but that's to be expected on tight throws. For what it's worth, by the way, folks, Matt Stafford was number 2, and Case Keenum was number 3. 2 more rumors to go. Let's head back to Tony Romo, the guy we always like to talk about here, and of course, you guys in the comments love to discuss as well. Is he going to go play on the PGA Tour? We mentioned this one in an earlier Cowboys report, and we can now upgrade it to 4 stars because, yes, Tony Romo is going to play in a PGA Tour event. He will play at the Corrales Punta Cana Resort and Club Championship. It is a first-year PGA Tour event. Romo got a sponsor's exemption to play, allowing Romo to play as an amateur. For those wondering what on earth this event is, there's a reason you've never heard of it before. It's the first time this event has been a PGA Tour event. In the past, it was a Web.com event. Very rare to see other athletes/celebrities play in a PGA Tour event outside of the Pro-Ams because, well, PGA Tour doesn't want to have a giant disaster where a quarterback turned golfer, a running back turned golfer, whatever, a basketball player like Steph Curry, for example, who played in a Web.com event, just have a disastrous run, have it look really bad for the tour. But Romo is a scratch golfer. He's tried out for the U.S. Open in the past, and I think having the PGA relationship with CBS maybe help move this along just a little bit. All right, one final rumor, then we'll have a reaction poll on this one as well. Are the Cowboys going to cut Dez Bryant? We've mentioned this many a time. We're giving this one just 2 stars because people are very much talking about it. ESPN published out their bold predictions for all 32 NFL teams, and Todd Archer's for the Cowboys was the Cowboys will cut Dez Bryant. I still do not think we'll see this happen for a couple different reasons. Yes, the Cowboys can save $8.5 million. With the current wide receiver free agency market, you're going to have a tough time finding a player of Dez's caliber for that amount. Not only that, the Cowboys lack a true replacement for Bryant. So if the Cowboys cut Dez, yeah, they save $8.5 million or like $12.5, which they can not use in free agency. if they cut Bryant, they don't save as much money as you'd like to save to actually be able to afford a new receiver. And it would also potentially pigeonhole you into having to upgrade the wide receiver spot. My guess here, and it's been this way for quite a while, the Cowboys will keep Dez Bryant, and then we reevaluate again next off season. But there's quite a bit of buzz around Dez Bryant's future. So I want to know, everyone watching, what should the Cowboys do with Dez Bryant? Give us a heart to keep him, a like for a pay cut, a laughy face for a trade, and a wow face if you just want to straight up cut Dez Bryant. I've maintained it again. It would be great if Dez Bryant takes a pay cut. I don't think he will. So with that in mind, I'm throwing up the heart reaction here. I think the Cowboys should keep Dez Bryant because they do not have a proper replacement on the roster. And if they don't have a proper replacement, probably shouldn't cut your best wide receiver.